Hello, welcome to Ielts Step 3. This is Steve and I will be with you throughout this step. In this step we will be discussing common topics in Ielts, and in this lesson we will look at the first common topic, hometown. You may be asked a series of questions concerning this topic, such as the kind of place it is, where it's located, or the things you like most about it. The common points of this topic are population, size, climate or weather, location, geographical features, historical places, common jobs and customs and traditions. Hometown is a topic which should already be familiar to you, since this is frequently asked in different tests. Hence, this is a topic in which you could show how confident you are in speaking the English language. Confidence is not included in the assessment criteria, but imagine how this can help you well during the test. Confidence can be seen the moment you enter the test room, so it's important to give the examiner a good first impression. Nervousness is the biggest factor that causes many examinees to fail in getting a good score, even when they have prepared for a long time. The more anxious you feel, the more challenging it is to be fluent and coherent. Because of this, you forget the words, phrases and expressions you've studied. As a result of being timid, hesitation will be evident in your speech. These hesitations will lead to unnecessary pauses, overused fillers, vocabulary and grammar mistakes and unintelligible speech. Basically, each criterion is affected by your confidence. So what tips can you follow to appear more confident? Before taking the test, you have to understand what Ielts is and what is being measured. Knowing what will happen during the test minimises nervousness. The three parts of the test, their duration, and what areas of the English language you're being assessed in are the things you should know beforehand. Focus on having a positive result. Think of all the preparations and practice you've done. Concentrate on your strengths, like the questions you can answer and the expressions you've studied well, instead of worrying about your mistakes. Do not overthink the result you'll have, but pay attention to your performance. Have faith in your skills and claim your success. Eye contact shows sincerity and willingness to answer. Making eye contact is the most important thing you need to do to show your confidence. Maintaining eye contact is difficult for some, but through practice you'll be able to do it with ease. Take note that eye contact is different from staring. Along with eye contact, confidence can also be seen in your posture or body position. How you sit in front of the examiner is an important body language. As much as possible, sit with confidence and proper posture. You must keep your head straight, relax your shoulders and keep your feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your lap or on the table and fold them loosely. Gently lean over to the examiner to show that you're attentively listening. Do not cross your arms or fold your hands between your legs. Most importantly, do not slouch. Perfect English is not a requirement in getting a high band score. It's normal to make mistakes. As long as your mistakes do not affect the meaning of your sentences, you'll be fine. The highest band score possible in Ielts is band 9, however most institutions do not require this score, which means they're not looking for a perfect English. Now let's review some questions regarding hometown. This question requires an examinee to describe their hometown, but before we answer the question, remember that one way to show confidence when talking about familiar topics, such as your hometown, is showing no hesitation in answering questions. Thus, you need to show that you believe in the description you'll give to urge the examiner to feel the same. It's not your ideas that are judged, but your communication skills. This question requires you to project what improvements you want to see in your hometown. However, you might find difficulty doing this task and make some mistakes. Instead of correcting your mistakes, focus on what to say next. Perfect English is not a requirement to get a high score in Ielts. Being confident affects how you answer questions and entirely changes the mood during the actual test. Observe how these two answers were delivered. To begin with, my hometown is a small city called Baguio. It is famous for its parades and cold weather. One of the most interesting things about my hometown is that there is a lion's head carved on the side of a mountain near one of the main roads. What I really love most about this place is the people, because many of them are friendly and hospitable. To begin with, my hometown is a small city called Baguio. It is famous for its parades and cold weather. One of the most interesting things about my hometown is that there's a lion's head carved on the side of a mountain near one of the main roads. What I really love most about this place is the people, because many of them are friendly and hospitable. The answers are exactly the same, but there is a difference in how they were delivered. It is noticeable that sample answer 1 made long pauses and stutters. On the other hand, sample answer 2 was delivered fluently. Therefore, focus on your strengths rather than your mistakes. Know what to expect during the test and get used to eye contact. Most questions asked about one's hometown can be answered simply with a few sentences. So show your confidence in speaking English and enjoy the language. We've reached the end of the first lesson. I hope you learned a lot. I'll see you on our next lesson. Goodbye.